Fussy dogs!
Fussy dogs and
Quiet dogs! Dog Show! Hello and welcome to Dog Show.
This is a show for people.
About dogs.
Starring one dog.
And one dirty dog.
That's right, that's me. I'm Miss Colleen, and I like hot dogs.
Oh, gosh, that is the perfect segue for us. Welcome back to CBS This Morning. Of course, that's from Saturday Night Live, a classic sketch about some people crazy about their dogs. And we all know how dog people love their pets. So recently, journalist, Josh Dean is his name, spent a year following one real-life champion dog.
His new book is called Show Dog, The Charmed Life and Trying Times of a Near-Perfect Purebred. It comes just in time for the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show that begins on Monday here in New York. Josh, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Tell me about Jack.
Jack is a now almost four-year-old Australian Shepherd from the Philadelphia suburbs, and he's bursting with personality. He's not necessarily a dog that wins best in shows at dog shows, but he's representative, I think, of like the everyman dog. He wins a lot of shows, and he's a beautiful dog. But
I had an Aussie once, and they're great because they're herding dogs.
They are.
You know, and you cut the tails off at the beginning of their life.
Yeah, some ranchers actually use them to babysit their kids. They're so good at herding that they will actually take care of your children.
You know what I thought was so neat about your book, Show Dogs? At one point you said show dogs are just pets that get to go to the dog show. Because I think most people think that show dogs, Josh, are a little snooty booty.
I think that's the general perception, probably. And they are pampered, surely. Like, I mean, how many of us get blow-dried and made up? Well, if you host a morning show, maybe, but...
I was going to say, would you like to answer that, Mr. Rose? How many of us get blow-dried and pampered? I'll let you go first, Charles.
I love the pampered part.
But it is true. They have owners who love them, and they go home and sleep on couches, and they jump up on tables, and they occasionally poop in the ring.
Yep.
See, this is what I didn't know, Charlie. Did you know that what goes into a show dog, you have to have good teeth and good testicles?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, you need to be.
Why the latter?
They call it intact, so that you can breed.
Yeah.
And if you're missing a testicle, then you're not probably great breeding stock.
Now, here's what's interesting. This is the cover of Time magazine. It shows you how popular stories about dogs are. This is called The Surprising Science of Animal Friendships. What is it about, you think, this sort of our love for animals, especially dogs?
I think it goes back. I read a quote. Someone said that dogs are our greatest invention, and I think it goes back to the fact that humans created dogs. I mean, they were wolves that were artificially selected by people to become companions, and they did jobs for us, and we've been working with them now for tens of thousands of years, and basically every breed that's out there was created to do a specific thing, and we just kind of bonded with them from the very first day.
You know what's surprising about you? That you don't even have a dog.
I don't.
I just assume this has got to be written by a guy who's nuts about dogs, has a dog, but you don't even have a dog, Josh Dean.
I call myself a dog person without a dog. I know, I love them so much, but I live in Brooklyn, and
That's no excuse.
It is, you're right. But you know, I just bought a house in the country, and I have a little boy who loves dogs, and I think it's probably inevitable.
It's coming.
And so how will you get the dog? Will you go to a shelter, or what will you do?
Well, I hope now I'll get one of Jack's puppies. He's now, he's out there breeding, and he's produced some beautiful puppies, and Australian Shepherds have so much personality.
I'll take one too, so when he comes.
I'll sign you up.
Yeah, and you really
I
bonded.
can put in a good word for you.
Oh, great. Please, you'll recommend me?
I will.
You know people, but you also said there's a lot of cheating that goes on in dog shows.
Yeah, I mean...
Like what? How do they cheat in dog shows?
You know, the cheating, it's a gray area because you're not supposed to alter the dogs according to the AKC rules, and that would include things like chalk. When you see a beautiful white dog in the ring, it's probably not quite that white because white hair tends to turn yellow. So people will put chalk in it, and that's okay, that's acceptable. Judges usually won't dismiss. But some people will use prosthetics in the ears if the ears aren't set quite right. You'll see muscles clipped in the tail occasionally if it doesn't sit quite the right way. In England, there's been a problem with dyeing dogs because black poodles will get gray as they get older. So they actually test the hair at Crufts, which is England's Westminster.
What is the most important thing you learned about training a dog?
I've become a pretty firm believer in positive reinforcement, which is kind of the counter to what some of the prevailing wisdom out there about
authority.
Correcting dogs with authority. Yeah, I think if dogs really want to make you happy, and if you tell them that they're doing a good job and give them a treat, you'll be amazed what they'll do.
Dogs are like people, aren't they?
Look. That works for me too. Yeah.
Look at a dog
Give me a treat. I'm good. I'm good. Charlie, you mentioned getting another dog. Would Barkley approve? Charlie has a dog.
Barkley is a wonderful black lab, and who I spend a lot of time in the park with. he's always looking for somebody to run with him. And I think he needs another dog there.
Australian
Because
Shepherd.
the most important thing he wants to do is either to chase or be chased.
You know, you can get Australian Shepherd who will chase him and then herd him back to you. When you need it.
That's exactly right. Yeah, I had a combination of both a Border Collie and an Australian. You know, and the two of them were constantly in competition.
Yeah, Border Collies are like an Australian Shepherd, just with a little bit of the intensity turned up.
Yes, I bet.
Thank you, Josh. I like English Mastiffs. You didn't write about them. I love big dogs. I love those.
Yeah, they're beautiful. I mean, I've come to love them all.
Yes, me too.
We'll leave a St. Bernard at her door.
Yes. I wouldn't be mad at you. I wouldn't be mad. Thank you, Josh.
With a treat.
Thank you.
I wouldn't be mad at that either. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? Dwayne Johnson has entered the building. 2 new films for us this year, and he's planning to return to wrestling. Really?
Yeah.
The Rock is joining us right after the break when CBS This Morning continues. But first, let's take a look at your local weather, shall we? It's 8.
Thank you, Gail. The trick with your dog